Hello. I'm going to have a game of Flight Sim and see what occurs today, really. I've not planned anything. I just have trying out a camera setup. So what I'm going to do is get my joystick set up and just see what's occurring, really. I'm not sure if I can see the chat. Oh well. Yeah, it's a bit strange. I'm still getting used to this software as well. Yeah. Okay. It's doing a bit of last minute settings as well, because I've got to be honest, I don't know if there's a chat going on. So you can obviously see my flight simulator screen. And okay, part of the problem of looking for a guide on how to do something is everything is a YouTube video. Just tell me where the setting is. So, okay. Oh well, forget it. I can't now do it. Document yourself if anyone is actually there. Yeah, just sort of, I don't know. I don't know. Curious. Okay. Okay. Let's copy the URL. Good. Ah. Okay, browser. Add the chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting there. No, I'm not. Oh well. Let's do it the old school way. And I'm streaming as well. Okay. Yeah, there is yeah, I've kind of got this figured out now, because you need to pop out the chat, have it in its own window, blah 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 blah, and I can also monitor the stream. Okay, so where should we start? So I have been playing, well, I've been doing stuff. I've yeah, I've been messing about with in the store, because there's actually some good stuff on the store. And the world update came through. I have been shopping. But what should we do today? Okay, I think I'm just going to go for a flight. So Finland. Now that's a short runway, halfway in the middle of the fence. Funnily enough. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. I haven't got a lot to say at the moment. I'm just kind of testing out this setup, really. So I do have some light I can use. Try and get rid of some of the shadows, especially when it comes to the big fat chin. Let's have a look. We could do an autopilot flight, but that's not quite that fun today. Yeah, let's take Concorde. Now, this is a custom one. Someone has done a livery for the GAXDN, the pre-production one that lives at Duxford, and I think let's go for a little jaunt. But we might have to change from Finland. Let's change it to Heathrow. I'm going to depart from there, and where shall we go? Where shall we go? Concorde can also, of course, do supersonic. I want somewhere that can do an ILS landing as well. Let's go to Brussels. So Brussels, and we will do low altitude airways. And let's start. Yeah, so this is basically my old video camera going in through a HDMI capture device. It actually seems to be better than a webcam. Seems to focus a lot better as well. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Not sponsored. Not keen on that weird thing that stops the cap from coming off. We have life. Okay, so yeah, we're on the runway. Haven't got a huge amount to worry about. The nose is going down, so we want 7,000 feet. So 7,000. Just do a bit of preparation before takeoff. I want to be going maybe faster than that. So let's go 250. Yeah. And we need to set the navigation to that, to GPS, and the fun bit. Yeah, there's in the UK right now it is actually quite miserable outside, so, and there's another Concorde lining up behind, and another user who's just started on the runway. So let's go for it. Throttle up, afterburners, brake off, and go. Straight through the other plane, because that's how I roll. And speed, so doing 100 and... no. Where is my speed? Mach 0.27. Okay. Concorde's got quite a fast takeoff speed because of the shape of the wings. But up we go. Wheels up. Now you'll notice there's no flaps. Instead of flaps, it's the nose droop. So I'm just going to bring that nose up. Okay. And I'm not sure what that alarm is, but that indicated is auto throttle on, autopilot on, LNAV mode on, indicated airspeed acquire. So that's the auto throttle, and the alarm keeps going off. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Now, there was something, yeah, they wanted me to go to 12,000 feet, so I will do. So 12,000, altitude acquire, and she will just happily climb. Now, I can't remember where I got the skin for Concorde, so apologies. Google is on there. And we just got to let it do its thing. This is what it does. Okay. So you can see up in, I do have the map enabled up here, and it's finding its waypoint. So I've taken off facing west, but it's going to start moving back east, and then I think I'm going to speed up So we'll take that maybe to 300. Acquire speed. The afterburners go on, and she speeds up again. So it's quite funny when you are trying to get this up to Mach 2, which is the full speed. You need to, or at least in the game, you seem to need to level off, accelerate, climb, level off, climb, level off, climb, level off, and it will go up to, the autopilot will take you up to 60,000 feet. I'm not sure if we'll actually get that high. But yeah, this is as it is, and Brussels isn't that far, even by a standard A320 or something. It takes less than an hour. So Concorde going at full speed, we should be good. Yeah. Still just me. Oh well, this is just a test, really. Just a test to see how this works. Because I'm bored. And I wanted to play this game for a bit, and yeah, it's either watch something on YouTube while I'm playing, or be on YouTube while I'm playing. Yeah, so the performance, I'm running this at 1080. 1080. Climb and maintain flight level 180. So the specs of the machine. So it's a GTX 360 Ti paired with a i7 13700K and 32 gig of RAM. So it runs okay. I haven't got RTX enabled on this game though, because apparently it's buggy and pointless. Flight Simulator does have really beautiful moments, like this when it's you've just emerged from the clouds and you've got this sort of ice and moisture on the windows. It is possible to just sort of glide back into the cabin if you manipulate the view, but I like to keep this as is. Okay, so this should be coming through at 60 frames a second for you guys as well. And I am okay. Yeah, we're good. I have air traffic control on automatic because I can't be bothered with keep having to reply, especially when air traffic control goes a bit weird. So when I get over the sea, I will hit the max cruise button, which will just throttle up and go to a maximum speed. And Concorde was capable of super cruise, so it would actually cruise without the afterburner at Mach 2, which is something the Tupolev 144 couldn't do. The 144 had to keep its afterburners going for the flight to keep it supersonic, which I think it shared engines with one of the Sukhois. Can't think of what it was off the top of my head, but it shared a name. Maybe it was one of the MiGs, like the MiG-31 or something like that. It shared engines with it though, military engines. Same as Concorde did actually. Concorde has the Olympus engines, which originated with the Vulcan, and that the Vulcan had it without the afterburner. So I think it was just a ordinary turbojet. And in the 60s it was developed further, and the TSR-2 got the Olympus with the afterburner, and that could go supersonic, and eventually Concorde. Having seen the Olympus engines, I thought they were smaller than what I was expecting, really. So just coming over the Thames estuary, I think, yeah, and now over part of A6. And Flight Simulator really does do weather. It really does. I think I need to do some research into what the prototype flights were. I know that she did the local flights in the UK, the subsonic and supersonic stuff, and like various loops and things. But she also went and did a lot of her testing in the US as well, as back at the time there was legislation and concerns about the environmental impact because of the supersonic jets. Still talking to myself, but yeah, this is here if anyone wants to watch it. Right. I don't think I actually missed any calls to climb either. Let's see. Air traffic control has been pretty busy, but I'm okay. But let's press the magic button. So that's max cruise. Indicated airspeed acquired off. Yep. So she should go at least Mach 1. It doesn't take that long to cross the channel, so, and as soon as you're crossing the channel you need to be descending into onto Belgium. I told you this is a short flight. I mean, this stream's been running for 25 minutes now. Yep. I'm just curious as to what you can actually see behind me as well. Some of my models. And the London South Western carriages and some Dapple wagons. Wonderful. They've all been on the channel, so I'm pretty much hands off at the moment because the autopilot's doing everything, and if all goes to plan I won't need to actually touch the joystick until touchdown. It's an easy life. Stupid lid. Oh well. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know what the audio quality is like, so I'm kind of waiting for someone to join and tell me if they can hear me. So she's set up to 400 knots. I do actually need to be climbing. Um, okay. Let's get some altitude. Now request 28,000 feet. Expecting 280. Ah, hi Eddie. Um, yeah, I do like the Concorde. It's taken me a little while getting used to it. Um, but I figured that once I'd figured out the autopilot on the A320, which is dead easy, I can actually do quite a lot of the actual flying with the autopilot. Um, I've done one transatlantic flight, which Concorde doing its full whack will take just shy of 3 hours, I think. So yeah, yeah, yeah. See with the panel on this one. Uh, close that off for a bit. Yeah, it's pretty much like a Cold War bomber. But the important thing is this display. I can't remember what it's called now. But that will deal with the autopilot and stuff. Ah, yeah, I use the, what, I can't remember what's the name of the one that comes with it, with Flight Simulator. Um, it's not Orbis, it's the other one, and kind of a similar concept with it, really. So when, okay, so this is my flight path, and I'm flying to EBBR, which is, I think it's Brussels, Belgium. Um, and I want to go into flight plan, destination, arrival, and then when I get within range, air traffic control should give me the runway and the approach. Sometimes you just get the runway and you go straight in. It should also give me the approach. Yeah, so hoping to get a bit of altitude so I can go a bit faster. Oh, and now, yeah, this is a short flight, so time to start the descent. The side thing I have found with the with Concorde is that when allowing air traffic control to do its thing on its own automatically, it wants me to descend really fast, and I don't actually know how to get it to descend quicker with the autopilot. So it wants me to drop to 15,000. Yeah, altitude acquired, okay. Yeah, so the should just sort of glide a bit. But this skin doesn't actually come with it. This is for GAXDN, which is the one at Duxford. I think it's the second pre-production. There's two prototypes. Is it two pre-production and then the English and French batches? So 25R via FLO. And I'm not sure whether don't know if I needed Y or 25R via flow transition. Yeah, so I'll take that one. ILS 25R Y transition. Good question. Should be a flow transition. This is where I get a bit stuck sometimes, admittedly. Yeah, this is where I do get a bit stuck, because I should be able to select the transition flow. But what I'm going to see if I can do 25R, see if I can come in straight. Sometimes I really do mess this up as well, and I end up just circling around. Ah, there we are. No, I found it. Found it now. Okay, insert. Select another approach. 25R. I'm going to try and correct that. 25R flow transition. Go back to what they actually gave me originally. Request approach from the controller. Yeah, a lot of the time I find it okay finding the actual runway settings. And then once that's in and that's inserted, click land. And this will pretty much take me all the way in. I do want to slow down. Concorde has quite a fast approach as well. It's actually got a fast landing speed. I think I'd like to bring it in at about 220. But I'm going to hold off on that for a few minutes. Yeah, find the newer airliners a bit easier. The A320 is a doddle, and I managed to figure it out with the 747 as well, and one of the smaller business jets. I think the small Cessnas don't have the landing capability, but they've got the autopilot. But that said, yeah, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's talking to air traffic control. Okay. So drop down to 3,000. I'm going to have to drop pretty quickly as well if I can. Which I'm not actually sure how to do. So let's just see what she does, see if she'll go down. So bring this one in. GXDN is the fastest of all of them. I think it did Mach 2.3 or something like that. It's named Miss Moses Lake because it went and did the trials there. It's quite a slower speed. Slow down now. See if I can get the full approach done. I do normally end up having to go around once because I've just not dropped that altitude fast enough. Because she's got quite a high stall speed because of that shape. Right. I'm just waiting for this to do its own thing. I've not tried the 787 for a little while. That tell a lie earlier, I've managed to do an ILS auto landing with the 787 as well. I think once you know the 320 and the 747, you can get most of them. Most of them are very similar, I think. I think I did have to look up the instructions for Concorde though. But yeah, I quite like, what I always find quite fascinating about the 787 is how much the wings will flex. Oh, this seems to actually be dropping altitude pretty quickly. That's good. But she doesn't have air brakes. But the wheel brakes are quite efficient. 2,000 feet. Okay, let's drop to 2,000. And yeah, I love this kind of complete hands-off approach. Keeps it perfectly level. It is so far. I don't normally get it right first time, so fingers crossed. Like I say earlier, I sometimes end up having to do a go around. But yeah, it's finding its approach. I think, at least on this game anyway, air traffic control nearly always brings me down to 2,000 feet, and then the plane finds the glide slope. I'm no expert at this. This is just where I've been playing it so much and figured things out. Looks like Brussels has got better weather than we have. I was yeah, getting there. It does feel like you fly far away on the approach to come back, but Yeah, no, this isn't looking too bad. At some point soon I'll probably put the nose down as well, because it's still up. I don't think it really affects the dynamics that much. When I'm on approach, I do put it all the way down. I'm not sure what the sequence is with it though. I'm not sure if it went all the way down for taxiing or all the way down for landing. I'm not entirely sure. I actually need to read up about it a bit more. So I'm not sure what it's supposed to be on takeoff either, whether you're supposed to have it the nose down at all, or if it's just nose completely up. I assume nose up. Yeah, so it's found its altitude. Yeah, no, let's put the nose down. One of the slight differences which isn't actually modelled is GAXDN. On the real thing, the tail's actually shorter. It's a slightly stubbier tail. This is just the reskin of the production Concorde. I think there were various markers though. I think the black ones on the wings were for the measuring the icing. But it also had 2 escape tubes. Yeah, I just put it all the way down for landing. I think that seems to work for me. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's just 1 notch down or something for takeoff. It defaults to that, so maybe that is correct. Maybe they've deliberately modelled it that way, or scripted it, whatever they do. But yeah, looks like it's finding its glide path. The only thing I do have to remember, and the A320 has it. I can't remember if the 787 does, and I'm not sure. I think the 747 does, but the auto braking. So when you touch down, I find that I do have to manually apply the brakes and everything. But yeah. So I'll just kind of stream this flight really, just to check out the stream setup and see how things work out. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it, I think. So once I've landed, I'll end up ending the stream, unfortunately. Things to do, and such is the way. Just hope that I've got all this approach set up, and I just hope that someone doesn't jump in front of me and then air traffic control decide to loop me around. Yeah, the A320 with its auto throttle as well, where the plane basically manages its own throttle. I think I can take off and then pretty much do nothing but press buttons for the entire flight. But it's actually one of my preferred planes, actually. I quite like it. Though I've got to be honest, I have bought the liveries because it's a bit weird me flying an A320 that isn't either EasyJet or Ryanair. I can't afford to go on these expensive airlines. I think, yeah, it's picking up. It's picking up the path. Yeah. You joke, but I have actually done that. I did a flight to, I think it was New York, from somewhere in the UK, maybe Stansted or something. And I pretty much did exactly what you said. I set the throttle, set everything up, got it up to cruising, and then I went to bed and got up in the morning and just in time for the to start the approach. It was brilliant. I'm looking at that. I can see 3 lights coming in from the other direction. I'm pretty sure I picked the right runway. I have found the autopilot sometimes misses the runway, weirdly. Depends how off it is. Hopefully this will start descending a bit more than it is. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I've got 2 screens. I play games on one, YouTube, movie, something like that on the other. Looks like there's a lot of activity around the airport. Oh, there we go. It says I'm too fast, but I'm really not. So if I take it 20 slower, it sort of goes. The arse drops. I don't like that. I'm just going to keep that as it is. It's happy. And yeah, just scared the hell out of all those people in that. I did do one flight where I did do the auto land and everything, but I forgot to put the landing gear down. So I ditched it. So I do need to prepare to brake. Do I want to do the taxi? I don't know. But the cloud detail, when comparing it to FSX, Flight Sim X, which was what, 15 years old or something now? Night and day difference. Here we go. Is it going to come in too fast? I don't think so. I think I'm okay. Because I also need to remember to take the throttle off when it touches down, because the auto throttle turns off and sometimes it will rev up. So there we go. And yeah, auto throttle off. Down, brake, brake hard. I think that was a pretty straight landing. Maybe I should have flown it to Toulouse, where the original prototype flew from. It wasn't too bad. Credit goes to the autopilot for that one. And yeah, should I go to the gate? Let's go to the gate. I didn't get to try P3D. I've got X-Plane 11 somewhere, which I never got on with. I think I was just always a Flight Simulator fan. I just wish they would do another combat flight simulator. That's actually how I got into it originally. The first ones I bought were combat flight simulator. I didn't buy the mainstream one till 2002 release. And that was back when they used to do a standard and a professional version. And I picked up the professional version and it came with air traffic control. So someone could just be air traffic control, I think. Not my cup of tea. And then 2004 was the Century of Flight one, which had loads of decent aircraft actually. And then Flight Sim X. There was that interim one, that weird one, Microsoft Flight, I think it was called. They only ever released one area. It was a fully released game. But you could only fly like around one island. And get this parked up. Not sure how they feel about the prototype. Pre-production, whichever. Turning up at the gate, but yeah, I used to really like Combat Flight Sim. Kind of been left behind by IL-2, I think, at the moment. IL-2 Great Battles is quite good. I've just found it quite an expensive package, really, but other than that, pretty good. So yeah, let's get the jetway, and then turn off the engines. And yeah, I think we're more or less done. Is DCS online multiplayer only? I'm not an online multiplayer person. For me, gaming's a very solitary thing. Apart from when I'm streaming it. But I'm not really into sort of multiplayer gaming. I don't find it quite that immersive. I'll have to try it on single player. Right, well that's me arrived. Yeah, so yeah, that's me arrived. So I think I'm going to call it an evening. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. It was actually nice to have someone experience this with me. Just sort of messing about and testing out the setup. So yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that the audio's sorted out. I had a problem where it was echoing before when I've tried to record it, and yeah, that didn't work out so well after a few hours, and then realizing that the audio was all messed up. Not a happy bunny. But yeah, okay. Well, thanks for watching, and I shall see you another time. Bye for now.